Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're back for the round of 16 in the Men's Rugby Sevens World Cup. England versus Ireland, two sides close when it comes to the geography of the world, but these two sides, they will know what they need to do to try and get the win. You've got to try and outplay your opposition. These games will not be easy though. The Cape Town Sevens been absolutely awesome to watch it, but looking through at the English lineup, it is going to be Bavadra, Barden, Kerr, Will Homer, Tom Emery, Tom Bowen, and also Alex Davis. Then for Ireland, they were able to win themselves their group stage match or their pre-round of 16 that they did play a bit earlier on up against the Portuguese, leaving Portugal scoreless in that contest as well. Looking through, Andrew Smith, Jack Kelly, Harry McNulty, Hugo Lennox, Mark Roach, Terry Kennedy, the speedster who scores tries for fun, and Jordan Conroy, the last man in that starting lineup. So these two sides, they want to start well. The first 7 minutes could be the most important 7 minutes for both of these sides. England, they have been runner-up in the last two Sevens World Cups. They've gone a little bit more shaky this year. But can they somehow pull off the upset win up against the Irish? Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who you think will be able to get themselves the victory. The winner of this game will go on to face the winner of South Africa versus Chile. More than likely, South Africa, I believe, will be making their way through in that game. Although Chile having a good win over Germany in their game. They did go to Golden Point. And also we have got there, hi Amish, hope you're keeping well. Any thoughts on the sad death of the Queen, please? Says Darren Smith. Yeah, tragic news really for anyone inside of the Commonwealth. And I know that we talked about it a little bit earlier on, but it's going to feel weird for a while they do adjust to whatever the new plan is for the royal family. But I believe it is King Charles now, if I'm not wrong. But now it is about to be kicked off. Just gone the 10 metres for England, and Ireland able to claim it. That will be Harry McNulty. Done very nicely to bring it down. So like I mentioned, Ireland, they did play Portugal a little bit earlier on in the day. So they have had one game under their belt, which I feel gives them the advantage in this game, even though they were already, I guess, the favourites heading into this contest. Well done, ladies. Time for the lads to put on a good performance as well. And I'm at the stadium, says Johan Guam. So hopefully you are enjoying it. What's the temperature like? I know 18 degrees Celsius was mentioned a bit earlier on, but currently it is going to be Ireland just out from their own 22. Nice attack and run forward now. Jordan Conroy slipping and sliding down the wing. And he is just looking down at the pitch. He's not too happy with it. A lot of the players have been looking down, wondering why their boots just won't quite dig in to this Cape Town turf. But he just slides. It was a good tackle initially from Tom Bowen, though, to help drive him into touch. Emery now with the line out. We are 1 minute into this contest, ladies and gentlemen, the round of 16. These are the important games. Just like all of the games, though, if you lose, you lose, I guess is the best way of putting it. You have no chance of being able to win the Sevens World Cup. There is no group stage this year. It is all down to pretty much every game's a knockout game. And also England wearing black armbands. It does look like they have got the black armband on the left side, I believe, which will be in honour of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. That's a nice run from England now. Charlton Kerr moving forward. It's going to be a penalty advantage now to England. They decide to take the quick tap. Bavadra wasn't quite on the mark, though. And that is a man that you certainly cannot get in the way of, or else, actually, hang on. Bavadra's got it wrong there. He's tried to go for the quick tap, but instead has knocked the ball on. I'm sitting on the side where the shadow is, so it might be a little bit chillier for yourself than if you were on the other side. But the good news about the shadow is, yes, it will be colder, but you can see a lot better. If you're looking straight into the sun and you spend the whole day pretty much going like that, trying to block the sun so you can see what's going on, it's just not as much fun, is it? I think you have picked the right side of the stadium there. But scrum feed going for the Irish here, 2 minutes through this round of 16 fixture. We will be covering a majority of the round of 16. I believe we have got 6 matches out of the 8 that we are going to be doing. And sitting in the shadow, the vampire proves, says Sebastian there. Okay, the French referee has said that they are not quite getting the scrum right at this point in time, so the players are going to have to do it again. The crouch, bind, and set, I would have thought would be relatively easy by now for these front rowers. It's the ball in now. It's nicely recycled. Mark Roach now off to Terry Kennedy. Like I mentioned, he's got plenty of pace. Jordan Conroy, though, he's got that fast step and feet. He's actually been on Dancing with the Stars, the Irishman. So he has got some fancy footwork when he needs to. That's going to be another penalty. Terry Kennedy tries to take it quickly. I think he almost knocked it on. In fact, he did a little grubber to himself forward. Now Jordan Conroy breaking down the wing. Bowen's able to make the tackle on him. March Roach plays half. Now across to Kennedy. McNulty. One more on the outside. This is looking sharp from the Irish. Nice stepping from Andrew Smith. I think he stepped about 4 different Englishmen in just that one singular run. Now across. Still on the side of Ireland. Kennedy receives the ball from Roach, who got it from Lennox. Now across once again. Jack Cully, McNulty. Not able to get through. Gets up, goes again, moves up to 22 metres out now for the Irish. Back across. Terry Kennedy now. Tries a step. In fact, it's Lennox now running straight sideways. Jordan Conroy receives it, goes back across to Terry Kennedy. Ireland at the moment just look like they haven't quite been able to find that gap in the English defence, but this could be it now. Getting close, 5 metres out. England straight over the ball. It becomes a penalty though. No clear release. Okay, Ireland are now going to have the option of taking the quick tap, and Terry Kennedy does just that. Goes short side, and they get it wrong. It's going to be an English line out. They just didn't quite communicate that one. Andrew Smith wasn't able to line it up from Terry Kennedy. And Ireland have got hands on hips. They look like they're tired, but so are England. This game has been played at a very quick pace for the early stages of this round of 16 fixture. Like I mentioned, whoever wins this game, you won't want to use up too much energy because they've got South Africa in their next match. On over the top, coming potatoes. And there's Will Homer. Nice run from England. He's going up the middle. Conroy. He does manage to put enough pressure on that. Terry Kennedy's able to get the interception. Now Roach back inside of the Irish half. Could we see the second game of the day go to golden point? Still plenty of time left on the clock to find out. Bavardra with a good tackle made. Now 50 out. Roach goes across to Jack Kelly. Now another attacking run from Lennox. He sold the dummy twice, gives it off to Kennedy. Now goes on the inside to Conroy. The referee almost getting involved in that one. Almost had to take the hit there, the referee, with where he did end up. Now back across. McNulty. Got to run, gets the firm, breaks through, and that will be the first try of the match. And the Irish crowd erupt. Sounds like they've got quite a few in attendance in Cape Town. The big dive from Harry McNulty as well, just to celebrate it. And now the Irish have got themselves a lead. The first try of the Sevens World Cup for McNulty. Just going straight through. Bavardra missing the tackle initially, and then it was Jamie Barden who went a little bit higher trying to stop him. Weren't able to, and McNulty scores. That will be the 7 points. So it is straight out in front. And now Ireland have got themselves the 7-0 lead. So that is a good start to the match for them after working tirelessly. England haven't had a lot of the possession, though, which is something to take into consideration for the second half. When they do get their hands on the ball a little bit more, I think they can certainly be dangerous. But England have had to make 10 tackles so far. We've seen about 34 passes, I believe it was, that Ireland have made compared to England's about 6 or 8. So they certainly just need a little bit more of the ball, and that's going to be dropped. That is a mistake they could not afford. It's a knock-on advantage to the Irish. Now Roach on the halfway line goes back across to Jack Kelly on the outside. Jordan Conroy trying a step. Doesn't find the offload that he did require, but instead gets wrestled down. 34 seconds left now in this first half. Bit of a loose pass cleaned up by Terry Kennedy. He's got Lennox and Kelly on his outside if he decides to use them. In fact, he's gone to McNulty instead. Now England patiently waiting. Tom Bowen does brilliantly to be able to win that ball back for England. It's a clean turnover. It's a penalty and Butterfinger. Sebastian, although they've won the penalty now, and they have finished second at the past 2 Rugby World Cup Sevens competitions, I should mention, for England. I mentioned it earlier on, but it is something that they will really hope that they can get right here, because if they get it wrong, it's going to be a painful one for the English. It's going to be the scrum feed. Last 5 penalties, we've seen 3 go to Ireland, 2 go to England. And go down in the front rows. The scrum's been heavily contested in this match. Now, once again, it is Will Homer. Goes across 40 metres out. Now Ireland trying to get straight over the ball. They've almost been able to do so. It's going to be a counter ruck, and they've won the penalty now for Ireland. Now, if you're Ireland here, You're 7 points up at halftime. Do you slow it down? Do you kick it into touch and say, we'll take a 7-0 lead? Or do you have one last attack before you get into halftime? I think that's the questions that Mark Roach is currently asking. What do they want to do? Do I take the tap? I think I couldn't read, but I think it was, do I take the tap? He's taken the tap. It doesn't look like they're going to be kicking the ball into touch, though. It looks like Ireland have one last attack in them. Now, nice quick stepping. I believe that would have been big Andrew Smith. In Ireland, they've got size in their advantage, which is something that would go quite well up against South Africa, but that's going to be the knock-on. And now it is halftime, 7-0 in favour of the Irish. So now the big question is, can the South Africans fire back? That's a lie. There's no South Africans playing. Can the English fire back in this one? Now, I should mention there are still quite a few games that have now been confirmed since seeing the losers of those first initial matches, the likes of Tonga. If you're wondering whereabouts they're ending up, they have got themselves a game that has taken place early tomorrow in the Sevens Day, but also later here in New Zealand at about 6:30. I will tell you guys exactly who is playing in all of those matches. So for the men, it is going to be that first match, the minor quarterfinals as it is called. It will be Portugal versus Germany, Zimbabwe versus Hong Kong, Uganda versus South Korea, and Jamaica versus Tonga. That last match has taken place at 7:21 p.m. The first at 6:15 p.m. New Zealand time. Then for the quarterfinals, they are actually not quite confirmed for the losing quarterfinals, but for the actual quarterfinals, currently we do know none of the sides that are making their way through. So that will be something we do get to see as it continues going on. But currently, the semi-finals are taking place at 5:15, or sorry, the quarterfinals at 5:15 a.m. So quite late tomorrow, but by then we will know exactly who's in it. So we will be doing a few previews throughout the day. That is something you guys are keen on. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Second half just about to get underway for these two sides. And also we have got who was that Japanese women's player in the thumbnail. I spread that caramel all over my pancakes. Says Gareth. I'm not actually too sure. But I know the one that you're talking about, the one that I put in the thumbnail. I want to say it was the captain. The number 6. Hirano, I think her name is. Something along those lines. But yeah, I think that is who it was. If I'm not wrong, she is on the Sevens, or the Japanese, they've actually got a website for their Sevens. So I highly recommend checking that out if you are trying to find what her name is. I'm not sure whether or not she was the one who did the post-match interview, though. I think that was the number 5 rather than number 6. It's going to be kicked off high from Ireland straight into the sun, and they've retained the ball. Mark Roach across to McNulty. I believe they've stuck with the same 7 men that did start this match, because, of course, all of them would love to be able to finish it. That was slightly forward from Terry Kennedy, but I believe it is play on just for now. They have called it flat. Jordan Conroy now takes the tackle. Kennedy back across on the 22 now. Roach looks to step off his left, then the right, then the left again with a fend as well. 10 metres out for the Irish. Lennox plays half. Ireland in a very good position. Terry Kennedy, the quick step in Irishman, now off into the hands of the number 2. In this one, as Andrew Smith, wide cutout pass. That was a huge one, and Mark Roach gets over for the try for the Irish, and now they take just a little bit more of a lead. And Mayu Shimizu. Okay, so that is the name of the player. You were very quick to find that out, Sebastian. I am impressed. And to be honest, Amish Irish will win this game, bro, says Kingy Toho. And a man of culture as always, and happy to help Gareth, says Sebastian as well. But a nice wide cutout pass. Mark Roach wrestles his way through Tom Bowen. That's actually the second missed tackle we've seen from Bowen, both of which have led to a good opportunity for them. And England's effing shit, says Arian. Sorry about the swearing there, ladies and gentlemen. I did get caught off because I decided to censor the F word, forgot to censor the S word after it. So I do apologize for that language. A useless team, says Arian. Yeah, they have not gone too well in this game, but runner-up in the last 2 World Cups. They're going to need a couple tries in a hurry, though, currently sitting with 5 minutes left on the clock. 12 points, 2-0 down. The Irish, once again, will look for the short kickoff, and it is going to drift into the hands of England. First real possession that they have had in quite some time. They just need to hang on to this ball and make sure that they make the most of it. I've liked what I've seen from it was in that first half. I did like Will Homer's running. I do see that now they have decided to bring Tom Mitchell out onto the field because already they had 2 toms. Now they got 3 toms. Normally toms come in 2s. If we're talking about a drum kit, that is. But Ireland in there. Good steal. Once again, Andrew Smith gets over the ball. And there also, we have got there a bunch of useless. So, says Sebastian. Yeah, they haven't had the best. Oh, no. That makes it worse because now Alex Davis is going to be going to the bin. He did end up throwing away that ball. So that's 2 minutes that England are going to have to play with 6 men on the field. And even 7 at the moment was hard enough for them to be able to build up any momentum whatsoever. But Ireland, they are going to be going for the scrum here, trying to book themselves a spot up against the South Africans. I'm wondering what the odds are for South Africa versus Chile, because Chile surely are $100 underdogs. I'm just going to have a quick look, see how they are sitting, because that's the thing. Chile aren't bad. From what we saw up against Germany, if they get it right, they have some good potential in this match. Now a nice run forward for the Irish. One more pass on the outside in the corner. Jordan Conroy goes, and that's going to be another try for Ireland now. They are certainly making a statement here, that is for sure. What we're going to do is we're going to go like this. We're going to go like that. And how do I find the sevens? Hang on, we'll go like that. And also England lose. Wait, no, I'd rather play against England, says Gareth. And the Queen is shaking her head right now, says Arian. Is it too soon? Possibly a little bit for some people, but England certainly haven't done too well in this first match that they have played. But that's the thing. That's where the momentum of playing a game for Ireland, I feel, has really benefited them. At the end of the day, if they didn't have that warm-up game up against Portugal, I think this game's a lot closer, and maybe even England able to sneak it. But because of the sides qualifying in that round of 16, it's actually, for me, a disadvantage. You want to be the side who are a bit further down. Okay, Chile are $45 underdogs. I'm quite surprised. Only 45. Going to be a penalty now in favour of England, and it's going to be a yellow card against the Irish. Okay, Uruguay actually aren't terribly underrated. $37 underdogs, that is huge, but it's not as much as I thought they would be up against the Australians. Scotland against New Zealand, 13 underdogs, I think, is generous for the Kiwis, because Scotland can play some good rugby in the sevens. That game has taken place in only 1 hour's time now, running for 2.5 minutes left. England need tries, and they need them now. If they score 3, they have got a good chance. At least the ladies went through to the next phase, says Sebastian. And yeah, some very good players in that English side. We are going to be covering the women's game tomorrow as well. Now, quick tap taken. Oh, unfortunately, a bit of a slip there. For, I want to say it was Waddleton there, or actually it might have been Freddie Roderick was in there. Seems like the English just can't quite get that momentum going that they need. The ball is dropping out too many times now. It's going to be Waddleton this time with the headgear. Going back. Another mistake. And I believe they're going to be going back for a scrum in favour of England. And like they're saying, Ireland won't mind this one bit, because at the end of the day, it's going to use up quite a bit of time, I would think, on the clock, which will help them very much. Here we go. Right. And now we wait for the scrum to go down. This will take an extra 10 to 15 seconds if they can get away with it. Ireland here, if they have to have another scrum reset, maybe they will, just to make sure. 6 to the square scrum, says the referee. Now Tom Mitchell passes across Alex Davis. Nice run going forward. But once again, Ireland are not missing many of their tackles at all, which is certainly helping them. And now they've got the ball back in their breakdown. Oh, there's an English player down in the back play, and he is stomping his feet at the moment. I think there's some sort of injury. Actually, fair play to Conroy there. I think it was. It's going to be a penalty in favour of England. They're going to go again. But one of the players for Ireland actually hung back a little bit and checked to see if the English player was okay before rejoining the line. I feel like that's the kind of thing that Sevens is built off, the mutual respect for your opposition. Now, once again, still going to be playing with the 6 men right. They are going to say time has stopped because that man is down, and he does not look too flash at the moment, unfortunately, for the player in the background. I'm trying to work out who it is. It's one of the English players. Oh, it's Alex Davis. He's just come out onto the field as well from his yellow card. He's returned, and he does not look too good at the moment now. Okay, one of the English players just having a bit of a chat with the referee, saying there's not much separation when the Irish have been able to win those penalties. Cape Town's got a massive bit of water near it. Probably the ocean, is it? Yeah, Cape Town, it's a beautiful day at the moment. The weather has turned up. It is sensational weather. Okay, they're running a man out onto the stretcher, or they're getting the stretcher out onto the field for Alex Davis. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. It will mean there's a bit of a delay for some of the other games, but the next game we are covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, will be that matchup between Samoa and the USA. That is in 39 minutes' time. France versus Canada is just around the corner. That will be kicking off very soon. And once again, I think Canada probably building momentum because they had to play their first game. It wasn't the smoothest performance. Cape Town has a massive bit of water near it, says Gareth there. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. And damn them chica, says Sebastian. Of course, looking at the Colombian women's team. We are going to be covering their game a little bit later on. In fact, that wasn't Sebastian. That was Nathan. I'm so used to Sebastian saying stuff like that, to be honest. And you guys, in a way, you have a similar profile picture. I look at the black background. Yes, there's gold in Sebastian's, and there's kind of that grey in Nathan's, but sometimes with a quick glance, I do get myself a little bit confused. Robert, what we're quickly going to do is we're going to go like this and like this. And also, we've got the Colombian girls on the hill, says Nathan. They are indeed. And also, I can't type while holding my member at the same time. Fair enough. No comment for that one. Now it's going across. Nice run. Nice bit of the draw and pass from England. They want something out of this game. Now, it may not be going their way completely, but at least if they get themselves some sort of points on the board, it would make it feel a little bit easier. It would hide a bit of the pain. It's going to be the try now for England. And they've gone and got themselves the try. And that is going to be at the end of the contest. Nice work from England. Kerr has taken the kick. The siren has sounded. I believe we still have time for one more play, ladies and gentlemen. So England want to make this just a little bit closer. I know that it doesn't matter for the rankings or anything along those lines. It's just for pride that the English are playing with here. And also try England, try, says Sebastian. So you'd have to say the second half of this game has gone better for England. I think the reason behind that is because they've actually had the opportunity of being able to get some game time under their belt. And I'll mention it the whole way through. I think those sides who played off in those provincial round of 16s have momentum heading into these games. A little bit more than people probably given them credit for anyway. Now, Terry Kennedy kicks it into touch, and that will be the end of this contest, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back for Samoa versus Kenya. The game that we are missing is France versus Canada. That is because we are going to be setting up the rest of the live streams that are coming up at later hours of the night. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in about 20 minutes or so time.